Hello and welcome to the third episode of the Couch Project. In this episode, we discuss age pressure. This leads to us conversing on pressure in general and happiness. Coarse language warning.
Welcome back to another episode of the Couch Project. Today's topic is going to be talking about age pressure. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's the pressure that you internally have from society. You have to complete certain milestones at certain ages, whether it's from pressure from your friends or your parents that you have to complete certain milestones. For example, buying a house by 30 and having kids and have that white picket fence.
Dude, I don't like white pickets.
Yeah, so I just before we started, I sent an article to all the boys in here today. Boys, what do you think about the subject of age pressure? Have you guys felt like you've had pressure from society or?
Yeah, age pressure wise, I definitely have. I have a pretty old school father, and I've always had the man talk. If you're not a man, you're not this. If you're not a man, and you're not that. If you act like this, and if you're not a man, if you don't want kids and a family, and you don't want to spend the rest of your life unhappy in a job you don't want to be in to support that family. I mean, it teaches you a lot of morals. It teaches you, whether or not you want that stuff, because there are plenty of people that do, and there are plenty of people that don't. And I guess at the end of the day, it's just more personal opinion than anything else. But I think age pressure is over-stigmatized, and I think the previous generation just before our one, they had it pretty rough because their parents were pretty strict as well, but I think the whole financial side of things was a lot easier for them as well. They could get a job, like a relatively a job they're unqualified for. It pays literally enough money a year for them to pay off a house mortgage and, still have extra money and still have like a kid. They're able to provide for their wife, to provide for their children. They're able to buy a nice house. Like my mum is a good example of this when she was younger. This is before she had kids, but she had a job at the age of 19 where she was earning enough money at the time to buy her own house. Like she had her own apartment and she had pretty much was paying it off, and she was nearly done pretty much by the time she met my dad.
I feel like that the generation before us had different struggles. I feel like maybe they didn't struggle with having the job, but they also went through a Great Depression and then society coming out of that. And they had different things, and mental health wasn't ever talked about. So I don't think they
from their time to our time.
Yeah, so I think we struggle more with the housing, so to speak, but towards mental health and that, we still struggle, but we've got more reconciliation of it, and more people are aware of getting help.
Also, it was a lot harder. I think it was a lot harder for them to make successful career than it is for us. But they had to work a lot harder to get a lot less than what we can get.
Yeah, that's true. We can get $100,000 a year. That's
why they're probably confused.
I think that's a big thing, right? It's, as you said, Hayden, they themselves will always be struggling with different things than we were, but their view on those certain subjects that they didn't have to struggle with is harder for them to grasp for our generation because we have to struggle with it.
Has anyone else suffered from age pressure, personally?
I'm too young.
That's not true.
You don't suffer from age pressure? You don't think that people if you're not finished uni by 25?
Well, yes. Well, to the degree of finishing school and having to do uni straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big...
I felt pressured by, obviously...
That one person up around the corner.
Because I didn't really want to do uni straight away, but I did. In hindsight, I'm happy where I am now, but back then I wouldn't have chose to do uni if I wasn't told that I should be doing uni.
Yeah, it's the pressure from how society views you as well.
Well, mainly it was from...
Again, that one person from around the corner.
Yeah,
I don't think I feel any pressure from society.
I could care less.
Yeah, I could not give a single shit about what society thinks.
Yeah, right. So you don't ever compare yourself to your friends or...
Nah, not my friends.
Friends? I don't think
really,
so.
no.
I don't think I do friends.
I don't know. Friends are different. They just hit different.
Or actually, one
friends,
thing is...
family, colleagues...
I was about to say, instead of friends, definitely family.
Yeah.
Family, I can.
I compare to my family a lot, but not in the sake of like I think that they're more or less successful than I am. It's just more of one thing you need to grasp, especially as a younger sibling, is they're older than you. You know, at the end of the day, they don't have to be more successful, but they are sometimes. Like they have more years on you, they have more knowledge on you, they have all this other shit that you don't know yet, that you haven't experienced. And like my brothers are pinnacles of that. Like I have my oldest brother who's ridiculously smart. And I mean, the brother between me and him is ridiculously smart as well. He just applies it in different ways. Well, they're both extremely smart. I mean, dude, how do you think about my sister though, right? Like she's fucking killing it. And she's younger than me. And that in itself just goes off like drive. But she has, in my opinion, I believe they're simpler goals. She doesn't stretch as far. She wants a family, she wants kids.
I don't really like having goals. I don't want to do all that shit straight away.
No way.
I don't want to rush into that's like
Yeah,
I agree.
It's a
that's
weird
like
mindset, eh?
shit.
It feels
rushed.
constricting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a positive thing.
It kind of feels like, what else? I've got this. What
Yeah.
people aim for, a house and a family. What else? This is it. I just work till I die now.
Like, is that all I'm gonna do? Like, I think
That's not what I want.
It seems like my end point has already been decided for me.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. And it's different with family also because it's genetics. Because you're like, there's no excuse for me not to be as successful as them because
You had the
I
same
share
upbringing
genetics.
as well.
That's why you
environment.
compare yourself more.
Yeah.
Because you're
So,
like, oh, what did I do wrong? Like,
so the article I shared with the boys just before, it's from Life According to Society, The Pressure of Turning. That's the article name. It's by Legal in General. And it just says that 54% of people, the study that they did, compare themselves to friends. 50% of people compare themselves to family. 37% to colleagues, 36% to partners, and 22% to influencers and celebrities. I'm not surprised that half of us boys in here don't compare themselves to family and friends or colleagues.
For instance, right, I don't over compare. I don't go, like I'm useless and my siblings are great.
Yeah. But you still slightly do it, right?
Yeah, you do it to the point where you don't realize you do it.
Yeah.
You don't consciously compare yourself. You unconsciously do it. Right?
Subconsciously.
Yeah.
I think that was a big thing for me when I was younger, at least. Like I left school in year 10, and as soon as I left school, all my friends were doing year 11 and 12. They were pushing for that. They went to uni straight away, and I just decided to go do TAFE and make video games.
When you moved out of school and you were in year 10, so you were 16, right? Did you feel pressure from not even anyone in Pacific,
He meant specific.
but you compared yourself to people your own age?
Oh, 100%, dude. Like, I think that there was a lot of self-comparison due to the fact that I thought I was going to do something great with the whole, game design and shit. But during that whole time, there was a lot of pressure because 16-year-olds are kind of mean, to be honest. And being told that you're stupid for dropping out of school and going and doing something that isn't school.
Who told you you're stupid?
Oh, plenty of people. Plenty of people told me I was just too dumb to do year 11 and 12.
School is not for everyone. Definitely not. And
not at all.
there's heaps of different ways to learn.
Like, age pressure is a big thing because as soon as I left school, I felt pressured to do something. And then as soon as you guys were going to uni, I felt like I was fucking useless because I was literally just working 3 jobs and going to TAFE. And at the time, TAFE, in my mind, was seen as something that was shit. Where all the dumb kids go if they can't finish school.
I felt like it was a little bit of an ad when you originally linked the page. I don't know why they have the Life According to Society, the pressure of turning 30. Millennials feel most pressure. It's an interesting statement, I think. I think we feel different pressure. I don't think we feel more pressure specifically. But yeah, just think we go through different challenges. We face different challenges and we just go through very different lifestyles now compared to what the older generation used to go through. I think that it's easy to see why the older generation doesn't understand what we're going through. And it is frustrating. And it does set an unhealthy expectation for people in our generation. I think that expectation that the older generation has for us is the expectation that their parents likely had for them. And I think that's not healthy because it's not the way the world functions anymore. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, I think they have this preconceived idea that there's a formula for how things should go. And if you don't go to that formula, they just can't comprehend.
They're like, we did it, so that must mean that you have to do it, right?
Success is scheduled for now. What's going on?
Yeah, that's a good way.
There's people that don't find success till 40, 50. There's endless amounts of paths you can take to what even is success?
Yeah, well, how's it being?
Is it making money?
It's individually based, right?
Yeah.
I think
everyone has their own skewed perspective of what success is.
People would like to.
But I think that's where the society expectations come from, right? Because in general, you can say society has an agreed upon expectation, a generalized expectations of what an average person should or shouldn't be doing by a certain age.
Yeah.
And do I think that's healthy? Look,
no.
It probably can be for some people. I don't think it's completely unhealthy.
Do you think
everybody.
It's motivation towards setting goals for people and having those set goals for?
I definitely think it can be a positive influence on some people's lives for sure. Having that extra bit of pressure or something can just give someone the drive or the initiative to go into that course, to apply for that job, to, just push a little bit harder. And honestly, that's not always a bad thing. It can really change some people's lives. But I think it is also quite unhealthy because it puts a large amount of stress and pressure on a very large amount of people.
Yeah, for sure, I agree. I think that the pressure that age pressure can impact an individual's mental health, whether it be because they're influenced by their friends and how they look on the surface. E.g., for millennials now, we have social media. So they see glimpses of lives, the best part of their day, every day. And we're on social media that much that we get all these endorphins, holy shit, look how good they're doing. They constantly compare to their friends, families, and influences. And I think this can cause plummet your mental health. You can depending on the individual, if you look at body imagery, they see heaps of their mates working out, constantly comparing and then people they can get addicted and get in that mental health space where they suffer from anorexia. I just think that the pressure can overwhelm people and consume them.
I think that's a really good way to put it, because I think how much it affects mental health. But I don't know. I think the whole mental health side of things is really important because, as you guys have said multiple times already, we acknowledge it a lot more than the older generations used to. But we not only is that a good thing because we get to actually come out of it positive, on a more positive note. But I also think that the acknowledgement of mental health is actually somewhat a bad thing as well, because it actually makes people internalize stuff a lot more, and they think that all the age pressure that their parents are putting on them just means that they're useless, if they can't achieve it.
It's interesting because age pressure is a funny thing because it's not really anyone particularly saying it to you, right? It's just internal dialogue of where you feel pressure because you compare yourself to other people and where the average life should be going, or where it goes, not even should be.
That self-dialogue doesn't just come out of nowhere. It is formed from someone making a comment on where you're at in life and then you being what? And then you get in your head. So it doesn't just come one day.
You don't think it can just randomly, you don't think an individual just living their life.
I think that can happen.
Hey, look.
I think majority of the time, I think
it's both.
I don't think someone's just born with.
You do compare. You are. You do always. It's the micro things. I don't think people literally have to tell. They don't have to say anything. I just think people, even as say toddlers, right? They compare themselves to other toddlers. I don't think you need to be told I think it's ingrained.
Yeah, but I think we're saying a lot of I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of I think.
I believe
Yeah.
what that needs is then just positive reinforcement from a young age. That toddler needs parents to say, it's okay.
But I think it happens
It's okay. G.
automatically. I think everyone does it.
I like your cut.
I think it's very normal to compare yourself to someone else.
I think so
Yeah,
too, because I know the kids do it a lot.
But
Like-
it's how far you take it, I guess. Like, I guess you can compare yourself and be like, yeah, I guess, and not dive too deep into it. But then
Yeah,
there's people that
it's like there. I compare myself, but like, oh, I don't care. Like they're doing really well, good for them. Like, and I'm doing this. It's like, oh yeah, like I probably could be better, but like I'm alright because like I'm struggling with mental health. I should focus on that first, and like
Yeah, the betterment of yourself first before comparing yourself to others is something that a lot of people don't have the ability to do, though. I think a lot of people look too much into their selves, and then by looking at themselves, they ingrain the fact that they should compare themselves to others to be like that person.
What about you, Tom? When did you stopped like negatively comparing yourself to that?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
When did you stop?
I was about to say, I don't actually know at what point I think it happened, but I definitely have. I think that I had a lot of like bad mental health for a while before. Like, I think while I was in Melbourne for the first 6 months, it was pretty horrible, and like there was pretty clear indication why. But then, after that, I kind of just came to the conclusion that my brother was a big help for that as well. My brother's a pretty cheery guy, but he's had a lot of problems of his own, and he's had a lot of.
Is that your
Jamie.
oldest brother?
Yeah. He's had a lot of, like internal stuff, external stuff, like bad relationships, like, toxic stuff. But whenever I see him, he never doesn't have a smile on his face. He's usually always in a good mood. He keeps other people in a good mood. He's all cheery and shit. And I thought, amongst my friend group, I've always been told that I'm a pretty cheery dude. And I think that finally kicked in after a while. And that people have gone, huh, yeah, he is actually a cheery dude. And then I've gone, whoa, maybe they're not wrong. Maybe I should be happy with the person that I am. And all you have to do is you really have to just take the small stuff and appreciate the small stuff, because a lot of people overlook it. A lot of people think that they have to go grand or huge. And if they don't do that, then they're
Yeah,
they're not.
it's so much easier said than done.
Oh, 100%. No,
Yeah.
100%.
It's so easy to say. Just be grateful.
I think it's as small, but you have to look as small as you possibly can. It sounds really weird, but people think that.
You gotta be like, thank you for the sun shining today.
Yeah, literally, dude.
Thank you for the weather. The weather is beautiful.
I worked in.
I think the weather's beautiful right now, but
And not currently, but yeah.
So one of the points on the page is sacrificing our social life. Going over some of the points, it's things people are willing to do to get ahead in life. So people compromise their social lives. People work overtime consistently. People move to a whole different city. Sometimes people move to a whole different country. And some people even endure financial difficulty. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Dos, haven't you gone through at least one of those, or are about to go through one of those, or all of those? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Do you know what's funny? None of you boys asked me if I suffer from age pressure.
Rough gig.
Well,
You guys don't give a fuck.
I don't think you're moving to England for work. I think you're moving. Sure, that place. I think you want to move there because England's a fucking cool place to move.
England is my city.
I would do this exact same thing.
Yeah, I think it's the adventure of a lifetime. I do agree. But
I think you're doing it for.
However, I do suffer.
How do you feel about age pressure?
How do I feel about age pressure? I think, personally, I do compare myself to others around me. I compare myself to my colleagues. So, because we graduated in November, and some of my colleagues are overseas, and I compare myself to where I am at, and I haven't started my degree, and I feel like I'm falling behind.
Mm.
And I feel that pressure. No one said it to me, but I just feel that pressure that I'm not. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just there. And
what does that pressure led to? Because I know
I'm trying
I
to
don't
get
know
a
if you
job.
want to talk about it,
Yeah.
but I know it had a toll on you, like mentally.
Yes. Sometimes
with anxiety and
sometimes
was that due to that
well, I think it's a little bit of
constant want to?
I think it added
keep
on
up?
to it for sure. I think that age pressure adds on to it's a type of pressure you put on yourself. I don't think it comes from like anyone else, but it's just your own. You're in your own head, and you put that pressure on yourself. And sometimes other stuff that happens in your life can also add on, and then it'd be too much for someone.
Yeah, it amounts to more. And more
I feel age pressure still to this day. Right now, I feel age pressure that I'll have to own a home by 30. I don't know if any of you boys feel that, but I feel like I have an age pressure towards that. I have to have my career started, a house, and be somewhere advanced in a relationship. But I think it's just me putting that pressure on myself, but it's also like
100%.
society as well. Like that's the whole. So I do suffer from age pressure.
So why do you think that way though? Like, is it because of you look around and you feel like you should do the same?
I think
the reason?
I've always compared myself to other people, and I think it's the only way to keep yourself on track. Well, that's how I see it. It's like you don't have to. You can. There's lots of paths, different ways to go about life, and you'll get there, the place you're meant to be eventually.
Yeah.
But the way I keep myself on track is I set goals in my mind.
You have a scaffold.
Yeah.
Of what you want.
And if it doesn't happen, I don't beat myself too hard. However, certain milestones I would like to meet that I might beat myself up too hard, like harshly about.
Yeah, I can feel that.
Does any of you boys feel the same?
I'm currently in that predicament myself with jobs. Like I'm 23 and I still work as a barista, and I genuinely missed out on an opportunity of my life.
23 is still like baby age, right?
Oh, 100%, dude.
You need to not worry about your age. This is the age pressure.
No,
23 is young as so is 27. 27 is young as because
it is
all young people.
Yeah, that's what we're saying though. Like, but society has dictated that in the past generations that they've literally gotten married at 19 and had a house by 25.
Yeah, my parents had 2 kids.
I could legit wait till I'm like in my 60s.
Yeah.
60s to get married.
I could literally give less than a.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't feel any pressure.
What I want to do, I want to make sure I do all the things I want to do. That's me pressuring myself. Like I want to see the world. I want to travel. I don't want to be at a job for maybe longer than 2 years. I want to move around and experience a bunch of shit.
I think we do feel pressure, but I think we're actually able to just ignore some of the pressure, or if not most of the pressure. Because I feel like for me personally, I feel life is only worth living if you live for your own happiness.
Yes, that's 100%.
Your happiness has to be your
priority,
utmost driving force when you live. I feel like even if you are, or you do feel pressured, and obviously a lot of people do feel pressured, but I feel like what's the point if you're not going to, if your every decision isn't going to be for your own happiness?
Yeah, I agree. I think that if you feel this pressure, you shouldn't let it dictate your life. It shouldn't come a cost to your happiness.
No.
Do you think that way?
No, I'm very happy where I am.
I mean, like you were saying how you're pretty self-conscious about age pressure and stuff. Do you make decisions on your happiness, not anyone else's? Yeah,
I do.
You do.
But I feel like I get happiness reaching those milestones. Like I hear that milestone, I'm like, yes. Like, I feel so good right now. Like,
see, that to me, that's a weird thing to me.
Like, I feel like it's
honestly, it kind of sounds like you're brainwashed.
Yeah,
like just a little bit.
How long does that happiness last? You've done the milestone. Good job. Now, what's the next milestone?
Well, you enjoyed the milestone.
I kind of agree with Hayden in regards to the celebration of something you've worked towards, because that in itself is a milestone. Like 4 years of uni or 3 years of uni or however long you're at uni, you finish it, you're done, you graduate. That's happiness, right?
That's happiness that lasts for
it's a temporary. It's
a couple, like a year, and you're like, okay, now let's get a job.
Yeah,
okay, now I've got a job. Okay, now let's get a house. It's always something else straight away.
Yeah, I think it's always in the back of your mind that it's a goal, right? But it shouldn't dictate your life. Like if I have a job right now and I was a stable job and I was happy with my career and I want to buy a house, it'd happen in the background of my life. It wouldn't dictate my life. I wouldn't put all my money into saving a house. I'd live my life and have that in the background, you know?
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think that's a good way to do it because I think that, as you just said, like Ethan wants to travel and he wants to do all this other stuff. Like, and again, the whole traveling thing will be a major part of your life, but it will also be like, you know, the working and the acquiring the money to travel and so on and so forth will be the back foot.
I don't want to. Like my fear is burning out. That's my fear.
Yeah,
I do not want to burn out and just hate life and having to do the same Monday shit every day.
Yeah,
that's not what I want to be.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm happy being a barista. I don't think anyone realizes how good of a job it can be. It's shit sometimes, but I'd say 70% of the time I enjoy my job.
That's good. You're doing it for you, not anyone else. If you were to do anyone else's wishes, you'd be somewhere.
Oh, I'd be working at a bank.
Yeah, I know, but you'd probably be depressed as shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you don't like what you do.
No, but I definitely think like referring to age pressure, like there's individuals go through things like all different types of experiences that you can't control, and I think that people need to accept that not everyone goes through the same things and they go through harsher traumas and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they need to accept that you can't control life. You can't control when you're gonna buy a house or have this much money by this much or
this time or
we sum it up with it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I think life is what you make it, not what it is. I think
your perspective on life changes how you view, like how you live life and how you feel about life.
And I think the older you get, the more you live for yourself. You don't live to please others.
Yeah, right. So interesting on the article we say millennials feel the most pressure, right? And we talk about as you get older, you learn that pressure, it shouldn't be there. Like you shouldn't care about that pressure.
Yeah.
And you learn, right? I wonder if social media has impacted on younger generations to be like, here's all this pressure to look this way, to act this way, to like certain things. Or is it just the age thing where people have gotten from experience realized that you shouldn't compare yourselves to others and your path through life is different to all individuals and everyone's.
I think it's whenever you start thinking more critically and more consciously of you and the people around you.
I don't know what maybe it fluctuates. Maybe it fluctuates. Maybe it like. I'm
not gonna put an age scaffold on when you should start thinking like that because that'd be age.
No, but I'm saying maybe it fluctuates. Maybe you are living your life and this at the moment you're feeling really great and you're not comparing yourself to others, and then you hit something in your life goes really wrong, and then when you're at bottom you start comparing yourselves and it adds extra pressure and it fluctuates.
Do you think that only happens when you're at bottom?
No. I'm saying like it fluctuates. Like it doesn't. You don't have to be all the way at bottom. You could be like.
I think
having an off day.
It happens.
So you're saying it goes way up when you're at bottom.
I think at bottom. No, I think it's all personal. I think he's saying, dude, it's all as you said. It fluctuates per person. It fluctuates per like where you sit.
I think what he's saying is I don't really know what the fuck you're saying.
I'm saying it fluctuates on how you view things. Right now, you view this way. However, certain events happen in your life. It could change your view, and you could start comparing yourselves to others.
Yeah, and
where you are in your life. So
Yeah,
Ethan right now doesn't compare himself to others. However, in 20 years, when all his mates are having kids, and he's not having kids, he might be like, maybe I should have a kid. And he feels that pressure to have a kid because
I compare myself in like more physical aspects.
Yeah, like where you should look and stuff.
Yeah, but like not in aspiration.
Yeah, you don't make it like primary focus. Like I have to do this. Like it's not overtaking your life. You just subconsciously
like,
taking.
I'm not like I want to be ripped, dude. That's going to be my number one focus in life. Everything else. Yeah, but like it's still there at the back of my mind. Like, damn.
It would be cool to be ripped.
I wish I wasn't as lazy so I could look like these people.
Well, and the thing is as well, right? Like 2 years of your life, you could physically change yourself exponentially, right? Like A lot of people
It's
get
not
like,
even that 2 years, dude.
yeah,
Like,
it's like a couple of months to be honest. Yeah, like you know,
you start eating right and working.
yeah. But again, that's just backseat pressure in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's just stuff that you could achieve if you genuinely really
But I
wanted it.
say to myself, am I doing it for myself? But
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm doing it so I look better in other people's eyes, and
Yeah.
that's why I just don't give a.
I think the only time
I give a fuck, but not to a point where I'm actually acting.
yeah.
You know.
I think that's a big thing with general health as well, though, right? Like, do you look at it from a healthy point of view, or do you look at it from a body point of view?
Yeah,
Because
it's funny because like the pressure you receive is like it's actually like good for your body, right? But is it
Yeah.
right for your mind? Like it's actually there is some positive like
Or like if I was literally morbidly obese,
I know. But I mean,
shoveling like 10,000 calories in my mouth every day. Yeah.
but let's say let's say right now, dude. Like, your current state of self. Do you reckon that you are healthy?
Yeah. I
You reckon that you're
I believe
healthy?
I'm healthy. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, but
I mean,
I'm saying that the pressure, social pressure, could push you to go work out, right? And that's beneficial. Like it does there's lots of benefits to that, right?
Well, there's a lot of physical benefits. Yeah.
Yeah, to your health, but
Yeah, but not mental health.
physical health can improve your mental health as well.
It's very just situational. You know, it's how you look at it, how you perceive it, and whether or not you
like
see
I'm
it.
saying, you can be happy, but like, does it at the end of the day? Does it really change anything?
Yeah, I just think as long as it's not your primary focus and it's not driven by that social pressure and it's your choice, then it's okay.
Yeah.
Has anyone else got anything to add?
No, I think that's a beautiful way to put it. But,
Does anyone else feel pressure on other stuff
No.
as well? Anything to do with age pressure?
You got anything to add, Lachlan?
No, that's
No?
sums up pretty well.
I think we hit the nail on the head. What do you think?
Do you guys feel pressured to get married?
Oh shit! Here we go again.
No,
Yeah.
actually, I don't feel pressure to get married. But that also depends on your relationship because
I feel like I'm not pressured. I feel like I feel like I am pressured to get married, but I don't care about that pressure
same.
because I don't want to get married.
Like,
I think it's
I
gonna
want to get
change.
married eventually, but not anytime soon.
What about you, Dos? Do you feel pressured to get married?
At this stage, no.
You
I
don't
don't-
feel
I don't
any
feel-
pressure
I
from
feel like
anyone
you
to get married.
No, like maybe like in the future when we're like if myself and
Daniel.
continue dating for years and years, like if you're dating for like 25 years, there has to be you'll have
Like
pressure.
25 years and then you get married.
And then there'll be pressure, like to social pressure from your family, friends. Like, when are you guys going to get married? Like, obviously we're not there yet, but I could imagine it happening.
I think that
And then I would feel it. I think I feel it then, but not at the moment, not at this stage.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I'm not doing it unless, like, that's like my calling. I don't give a what anyone says. No one else could pressure me to doing that because that's a massive commitment. Like, that's a life.
Do you know what's funny? I think
I'm not just saying. Oh yeah, why not? You know.
I think humans are actually scared of commitment altogether. Any kind of commitment, because
commitment's scary. So that's another episode.
things just change radically. Yeah.
Well, again, though, I think that the whole concept with all that anyway is, it's scary because we don't know what's after, right? And I think that I also think, as I've just said, the commitment for getting married is based on your relationship. If you and your relationship or the person that you are with is happy not to just get married, because at the end of the day, getting married, in my opinion, is just a piece of paper. Yes, it's a commitment, but it's I'm committed to that person. If I'm, as you said, if you're with them for 25 years and you don't want to ever leave them, and you know that you want to be with them forever, you don't have to get married.
Yeah, it's weird. There's social pressure to get married. I think all marriages are social pressure. Nearly.
Yeah, but I do want to get married because it is pretty.
It is.
It's a good day.
I wouldn't just get married because people say get married.
Yeah, but yeah,
You want to have
I wonder how many people in relationships are formed by that, just because other people
have gotten married.
Are like, why are you guys married?
Well, we've seen the product of a bad marriage. So, like that's just like
picky.
the one thing it's literally the one thing petrified of.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, thank you guys listening to today's podcast. So if you go ahead, follow us on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook,
And
all under the couch.
The Couch Project on Spotify.
And Spotify. We're uploading very soon. Very excited about it. Thank you guys for listening. Let us know what your input is as well, if you like the episode or not. And if we could change anything, if you want anything more, let us know.
Yeah, please tell me if I ramble too much.
If you have any, sorry, if you have any anything you want to say, or even if you want to join in, email us at thecouchpodcast123@gmail.com.
Wow. Giving out an email like that, bro.
There you go.
What do you do?
Yeah, email out there.
Yeah, maybe. Do you boys? I think we should get some guests on. I don't know what yet.
Well, we got a guest here, mate. Lachlan. Can we give a thank you to Lachlan for coming?
Yeah, thanks for coming on there, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you for your insights.
We appreciate you.
Not being old.
Mate, he's not old. We just said that he's not old.
Yes, thank you.
You
Older
are
than
the
us.
issue.
It was a joke, guys. A joke.
I know.
All right. Thank you guys.
Yeah, I'd like to say I feel age pressure from my brother.
Damn.
All right. Love you all. I'll see you all next week. See you Tuesday.
See you later, guys.